Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The topic of today's video is some lives of US citizens are more important for the US government than other lives. And I will use 4 examples. This article that I'm going to start with brought the ball, spiked it for me so I can hit it like in volleyball. So let me show you what's happening. I'm going to use 4 individuals. Maybe you're familiar with their names. One, it's called Evan Gershkovich. You know Evan Gershkovich? Evan? All right. He used to be a reporter for Wall Street Journal. Supposedly he was caught, the Russians claim, they called him red-handed with, basically he is a guy who was with some documents that he was not supposed to. So he was charged with espionage. The second one, we're going to have Paul Whelan. Paul Whelan has been incarcerated in Russia for the past 5 years. Gershkovich, he's a US citizen. Paul Whelan is a US citizen. He was incarcerated 5 years ago for the same conviction, charges, espionage, as Mr. Gershkovich. Gershkovich was in prison for about a few months. Okay, the Russians are still extending his stay a little bit, and they go through their justice system, court appearance, and so on. And the Americans are putting pressure. So the second one is Paul Whelan, who used to be a Marine, defended the country, and I think he was born in Canada, if I remember correctly, US citizen. Third one is Brittany Griner. Remember the basketball player who was caught in Moscow with some drugs in her cannabis in her bag, and then she denied, and then she said yes, but I didn't know, and then blah blah blah, and she was charged with 9 years in penitentiary. US citizen, basketball player. And then we have the last one, Gonzalo Lira. She is a Griner, is a US citizen as well. And then Gonzalo Lira, you remember Gonzalo Lira? Okay. So he died a month ago, or not even, in a penitentiary in Ukraine, detained by the Ukrainians. And he was a blogger, he was a YouTuber, he was a commentator, he was an analyst, how you want to call Gonzalo Lira. I'm going to show you how these guys present Gonzalo Lira, these guys. US citizen and Chilean citizen. So Chile's citizen and US. So all these 4 are 4 US citizens. And I'm going to show you how hard they fight for some and how at all for others, and how they use smoke screens for others. Let's start with this guy who right now is the most important guy, Gershkovich. I'm going to give you some personal information on each and every person that I mentioned: Evan Gershkovich, Gonzalo Lira, Paul Whelan, and Brittany Griner. Let's start with Gershkovich. Evan Gershkovich. Russia again extends detention of US journalists. He's a journalist. Okay, he's Jewish. Okay, he was born in Russia. His parents immigrated when the Jews were allowed to immigrate. That's called Great Immigration or something else. Good for them. I'm glad they emigrated out of Soviet Union. But just so you know, he worked for Wall Street Journal. The Russian said that, was arrested last year on espionage charges. 32 years old. I hope the American government will be able to get him back in our country. I hope. All right. The court ordered that his detention be extended until March 30th, which means the Wall Street Journal reporter will spend over a year behind bars as he awaits trial. Well, as I said, it says here, his arrest marked the first time Moscow has accused a US journalist of espionage since the Soviet era. A lot of journalists, you have to be an idiot. The fact that the Russians did not push the button, now they do. They didn't because they didn't want to create problems. They played ball. But when this guy started playing, I'm going to pull a Gaddafi on you, Putin said, change the side, let's go. Now, this is the first guy, very concerned. The US government spoke with the Russians, tried to offer them this, offer them that, and they didn't get to a common denominator. They couldn't negotiate to reach a conclusion, a decision anyway. So he's still there, unfortunately, right? Yeah. Next one. We're going to go to this one, who is, remember, he is a US citizen. Right here. CNN. Paul Whelan, an American detained in Russia, wonders why he was left behind. Paul, give me a call and I tell you why. Okay? I tell you why. You are a this, you are a that, you serve the country, you are this and you are that, and you're not that and you're not that. Okay? That's the reason why. Straight to your face. I can't say it here, but people who have ears and know what I'm talking about. And this is the Paul Whelan, okay? So it says here, Paul Whelan, a US citizen who remains imprisoned in Russia, is questioning why he was left behind in the prisoner swap after freed fellow American Trevor Reed. So another one was freed. Fellow American, another one. This is the question, and I'm quoting. Why was I left behind? While I am pleased Trevor is home with his family, I have been held on a fictitious charge of espionage for 40 months, Whelan said in a statement to his parents and shared with CNN. And I'm quoting, the world knows this charge was fabricated. Why hasn't more been done to secure my release? Because you're not a, okay? Got it. So, and you like women. So here we go. This is the second one. Brittany Griner, she came late and she was freed early. So first, and I said it in many videos I covered, then she's going to be released. They put it together like Paul Whelan and Brittany will be together. I knew she will be released. He will not. The American government worked hard for that. Hard. Extra time. Now here she is. CNN, politics, WNBA basketball player Brittany Griner released from Russian detention in prisoner swap for convicted arms dealer. So they got Victor Baut, right? The merchant of death. He's such a merchant, and this is the person right there. She's married with, go and check her person. I'm not going to mention it here. Anyway, she was released. Very good. I'm glad for her that she was released. Good, but where is Paul Whelan? He's nowhere to be found. He's back there. And Victor Baut, the merchant of death, is the merchant of death. But the Pentagon is called what? The merchant of peace? You compare that guy and you call him the merchant of death. And you got this defense, I think it's an offense, not a defense, department with $884 or something billion budget. Selling arms, 40% of that budget is making weapons. 40%. So out of 886, so that's about what? 400? 400, about 400, not even. 380 billions. 380 billions are for this, for weapons. And Victor Baut is the merchant of death. Guys, this is garbage. This is a movie. Hollywood. So I'm glad she was released. Right there. Has been released. Very good. President Joe Biden said. Yes. Griner was released in the prisoner swap that involved Russian arms dealer Victor Baut. The exchange, however, did not include another American that the State Department has declared wrongfully detained, Paul Whelan. She's safe, thank God. She's on the plane, thank God. She's on her way home. Let me rub one for her. Biden said on the White House Thursday morning. Biden said, he said that he had to. Votes. After months of being unjustly detained, after months, the other guy is 5 years, after months. Held under intolerable circumstances, Brittany will soon be back in the arms of her loved ones. And she should have been there all along. No, what are you talking about? She entered the country with something that's illegal. If someone would enter the United States of America with a loaded bazooka, and let's say a JFK airport in New York, what do you think the Americans will say? Exactly what the Russians said about her entering Moscow with drugs. What are you talking about? What do you mean she's been all along? Is that law or there's no law? Or, they say it's corruption in Russia. What was the Russians supposed to do? Close an eye because he plays this and does that and huh? I guess so. That tells you how fair this is. And right here we have exclusive. Paul Whelan tells CNN he's disappointed. No, that's not a word. I'm fucking outraged. I'm angry. I feel like doing okay right now. That's how I feel. Administration has not done more to secure the release. You should have been the front one. You've been 5 years. No, she cut the line. Why? I can only imagine. Let's go to the next one, which is right here, Gonzalo Lira. This is the person. Now, look here how he is referred to. Gonzalo Lira, a pro-Putin American expat, dies in Ukraine. What do you think? Is it a positive or a negative article? From Newsweek on MSN. An American YouTube poster accused of spreading pro-Russia propaganda has died. Has just died. This is criminal, my friends. This is criminal. He's an expat. He's not an expat. He never renounced the U.S. citizenship. What the fuck are you talking about? You're not an expatriate. You're still there. You still have the U.S. citizenship. He had it. He was in touch with the U.S. embassy in our allies, Ukrainians. Yeah. And then what's on the right here? Gonzalo Lira was born in Burbank, California, U.S. citizen, right? He's a director and writer known as Pop, Soldier of Fortune. So he was a publisher, among others. Education, St. George College, Santiago, Dartmouth College. So he's not an, and again, American filmmaker arrested and jailed for spreading pro-Russian propaganda. Is that a crime now? Is that a crime? Okay, well, then why don't you come and get me? Because according to many, I do the same thing. No. Again, idiots. Pro-Russian blogger, U.S. journalist jailed and tortured by Ukraine. This is big news network. So we're going to this one. Gonzalo Lira, right here, was a war commentator and YouTuber, also known as Coach Red Pill. He was of Chilean-American descent, was accused of spreading Russian propaganda, including denying atrocities. He died on January, just died, passed away, on January 11, 2024 in Kharkiv hospital in Ukraine. You see how hiding this is, how misleading. Where was he? He was in the prison. He died in the hospital by what? If you read just the top, he was the bad dude who just got sick or something and he died in hospital. That's all you know from the first thing. Now let's go back to these guys. So they didn't do shit for Gonzalo Lira. Go and listen to, I made a video where I used not only Tucker Carlson but other pieces of information where Gonzalo Lira's father says that they were in touch with the US embassy while he was detained in Ukraine and they did not do anything for it. Paul Whelan, nothing. Brittany, gone already, is right here with the loved ones. And the other one, Gershkovich, is about to be gone. Why? What do these guys don't have in common? Can't say it. I don't want to be arrested and die in a hospital. Not an idiot death. Okay, not an idiot death. That is just to walk down the street, you just trip, hit your head on the concrete and die. That's an idiot death, okay? So my friends, you make your judgment. I just brought 4 guys here. And the US are more, the guys in charge are more interested in some and not interested in others. Even though they should be equally interested in the American citizen. Doesn't matter if it's a woman who's a, how do you call her, a lesbian. Doesn't matter if the other guy is a, white, straight guy, Marine. Doesn't matter if the other guy is, says certain things that some people don't like. And doesn't matter if the other one is born in Russia. Those things should not matter, play any role in how hard the US government fights for its citizens. After all, we are told since, not I wasn't, but you guys were, told that you are all equal in front of the law. And the US government loves you like they love their children. But remember, even God loves some of his children more than others. But hey, that's justice. That's justice. And no, wait. You don't know. God works in mysterious ways. But somehow he has a preferred son. As families have, like you, like a parent. I love this son more than this son. And I love this daughter more than that daughter. Because that's the way we parents do. We love some. Okay? Fuck it. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Garbage. Garbage.